Hello everyone, hi, how are you guys doing? Welcome back to another episode reaction to Cowboy Bebop. This is Haarute, my name is Matt. Hello, what's up? Okay, so, Cowboy Bebop. Last time what happened, we learned that Edward really likes to play chess. That's kind of it. We also learned that maybe there is something weird going on with the ring gates. Ring gate, is that the gates. So, yeah, that might be a thing that we might have to file in our brains moving forward. But besides that, that was kind of it. I look at the title of this episode and it's called My Funny Valentine. Again, makes you think of Dojyaaa. I love it. Let's go. So, check out the Patreon, link in the description below, pop up on screen. You can watch the next two episode reactions already, as well as full-length reactions. And now, let us begin. Cowboy Bebop, episode 15. Let's go. Ooh. Okay, what am I looking at? Why is it barking?
It stinks!
Did it fucking fart?
Weren't you taught to clean up your own poop, like bury it or something?
That's it.
I've been trying to figure out who it is you remind me of. Now I know, it's that guy with the thin eyebrows. Whitney Haggis Matsumoto. Want to know a secret about my past? Do you?
Okay. I would love to. My Funny Valentine. Oh, duh. FAYE Valentine. This is probably her episode. So, was she experimented on too? Miss Manley.
The patient is reviving.
Why, yes, doctor. I believe she is.
Is she a time traveler? Kind of. I think this is FAYE. Time traveler. She traveled through time in ice, Captain America style.
273 million. Add the hospital fees to that, and the total is 300,028,000 oolongs.
That's a lot of Willongs. Whitney Haggis
Whitney
Matsumoto.
Haggis Matsumoto, your lawyer.
Okay.
We need to know about your memory.
That's a monitor, a hot water pot, that's a cellular phone.
You were involved in a serious accident.
Okay.
They couldn't save you with the medical technology back then.
So they did send her to the
I
future.
can see that. I don't have a scratch.
How many years?
Back then, what do you mean?
How many years?
Accident, it was 54 years ago.
Okay.
Then I'm dreaming.
It's a washing machine. This
Ooh.
isn't a hot water pot, it's a face cleaner. And this is not a cell phone, it's a biothermometer.
You think I'm gonna believe a load of rubbish like that?
Temperature 94.1, pulse 54, blood pressure 40/75.
Okay. In some ways, it might be better for her to not remember anything about herself. Because then she would go through the crisis of like, everyone I know is dead. Or not dead. They would be like 80 maybe. Oh, damn. Well, there you go. So is the medical bill her like massive debt that she has? Is that it? It's funny that they were like, in your era, cell phones still had antennas, and it's like, that would be in like the 2030s. This is fucked, by the way. She has like nothing and nowhere. No one. This guy is gonna be like her funny Valentine in some ways, and then he's gonna be the one that like betrays her in some way.
Away from me!
What do you get by running away?
I can't pay 300 million.
Yeah, of
It's
course.
not fair.
You can deal with the debt payments little by little. I'll do everything I can to help you. And you know, someday your memory might come back to you.
Supportive, but so because I know how she is in the future, I have red flags about this guy. Also, I don't like his eyes. He has what I call psychopath eyes. Neck ID?
Sometimes I
Kiss on her.
think,
Ooh.
oh yes, I'd move to where all the shooting stars are gone.
What is this song? Is this sang by her or something? By the way, I like her hair better when she had bangs on the forehead. So this guy became her kind of life in some ways, because he was the only person that was there for her. He's gonna betray the shit out of her. That's why she's the way she is in the future.
What's that?
Collection agents. The insurance company got impatient.
What do we do?
Okay, we're going on the run. This is really unfair for her. Like, why would they do that?
I'll meet you at the medical clinic, all right?
But why are you helping me like this?
A prince has to protect Sleeping Beauty. That's the way it works.
Okay, maybe he just blew the fuck up.
In the event of an unforeseen accident, his instructions were to transfer all of his assets to you. If you give us a thumbprint here, everything he owns will be yours.
Oh, Whitney. He really did care.
I don't trust this doctor. I don't trust this doctor. What does that say? Debts?
Why are all the numbers there in red?
Those are all his debts, but they say debt is an asset.
His debts?
Oh. Oh.
You have got to be kidding! Of course, I can see now how stupid I was. I mean, if you think about it, he risked his life to save me. All in all, it really wasn't that much.
Okay.
How long were you in there listening, Spike?
Too long. Your story needs editing.
Oh, that's great. I'm glad you heard that, though.
This guy has a rep as a Don Juan.
That's him!
Really just a cheap confidence man.
That's him!
Snoozing,
Oh my
just
god.
on the job.
This fucking guy. He faked his death and then dropped all his debts on her. Yeah. What a piece of shit.
I wanted to start all over. Start from scratch.
By conning women out of their money? So everyone was in on it, huh?
I had
Yeah.
no choice. The doctor was protecting me. I owed too much, and now he's dead.
The police.
Yeah, want to claim a bounty.
I see. Miss Manley, prepare
Oh my
for
god.
rendezvous.
Oh my god, it's them. It's fucking them. It's the fucking doctors again.
Let's go.
It's all right. You don't have to do this for me. It's too risky.
He's trying to get out.
She's helping him.
Want to bet?
Yeah.
I'll give you 4 to 1.
Oh my god.
Dad, hurry up, Spike! I'm trying!
That's funny.
Stay back! We're leaving!
Okay. I guess this is happening.
Jet caught him. It's his reward, Faye.
I have some history to work out with this guy, so I claim first rights to him and to the bounty that's on his head.
Is it just me, or did that not make any sense?
No.
I want to know the truth.
The whole
Tell
truth.
me, who am I? Tell me where the lies end and the truth begins.
How much does he know?
What are you doing?
Oh boy.
You're not careful. I'll hit the cockpit.
Okay. We're doing this, I guess. That's, holy shit. Okay. Don't try to blind her, I guess. In front of you. Take a hit. I am glad that we finally get to hear her pass,
Am
though.
I?
Are you sure you really want to know? It's going to be hard to swallow.
Okay. Hit me.
Are you prepared for all the consequences?
Hit me. Hit me. Hit me.
Spit it out!
I don't really know myself, I swear.
You're lying.
Who am I? My past? My future? These are questions every human asks at least once in their life.
Yep.
Here I am. You.
Oh, jeez, is that the doctor from the cryo clinic?
Yep.
Sure seems that way.
You told me that doctor was dead.
You were cryogenically preserved in our labs.
What about my past? Who in the world am I?
Does he know?
I gave you the name Valentine. Yes, I named you after my favorite love song.
Oh my
The other
god.
data on you was lost when the astral gate exploded. So you see, no one knows who you are or why you were put in a cryogenic state.
Oh.
You're in a vehicle which has been reported stolen. State your department code now. I repeat, state your code.
Okay, here's the real
Doctor,
cops.
This is not good. We're going to be apprehended here.
Why are they here?
Bye, Whitney.
They were risking it for Whitney, but now
Wait a minute,
just fuck
Uncle. Don't
it. Uncle,
go.
I see.
He's your
I see. That explains things. Hey, there we go. Get fucked.
Well, there is one part that's true.
Okay.
That I fell in love with you while you were sleeping. I fell in love with Sleeping Beauty.
I mean, I do believe that part. That still doesn't make things right.
I may never know anything about my past.
Doesn't really matter, does it?
It really doesn't.
It's your share of the bounty. The big 19,800 reward.
Oh my
Smallest
god.
of the small fries.
I kind of put an extra 0 in there.
Oh man. Oh my god. Give him eyebrows. Wait, does that say Sleeping Beast? Wait, let me check that again. Sleeping Beast. Oh, wait, that's cute. Okay, that was the FAYE episode. I really enjoyed that because when watching Cowboy Bebop the entire time, I'm just sitting here like, okay, I want to know more. I want to know more. And some episodes just we just have like episodic story that really doesn't really go anywhere. Like last week, I mean, maybe the Gates things will be connected into the future, or maybe something else that I don't know about, but like, there's a bike passing by. But in general, I just want to know more about the characters we're following, because we learn about Jet a little bit in like episode like 10, right? We learn a little bit about Spike in a way that is still vague enough that I don't know fully what's going on with him. I don't know if Ed has anything going on other than what we saw in the on the episode where Ed showed up for the first time. And when it comes to FAYE, I'm just like, I don't know nothing. I don't know anything about FAYE. So more than anyone else, I've just been waiting for the FAYE episode, and I'm glad we got it. So, what's FAYE's deal? She was ill, and then she was cryogenically preserved and frozen for like 50 years. I don't remember the exact number. I'm recording this a couple hours after I watched the episode, but it was like 40 whatever years, like 50 years. That's really cool. Like when I saw, like I was able to pierce together that that's what it was, and then I was like, shit, that's really cool. She's a time traveler, but like the more realistic time travel kind, you know, not the sci-fi one too much. It's not like we have a time machine. It's like, no, you were like frozen and you got Captain America into the present, and that's really cool. Just grabbing a person and putting them out of time is a concept that I really love. I wish we had been able to see like FAYE's life before that and then accustoming herself to the modern future life. We did get like a montage sequence where she is accustoming herself to like what modern society is, but more than that, it was more like a montage of her and this dude. I forgot his name. Whitney Haggis Matsumoto, that's the name. And I like how this entire flashback sequence starts because she looks at Ayn and she's like, your face reminds me of this guy. And then she's like, can I tell you? And then she just starts telling Ayn this entire story, which tells you that FAYE wants to connect with people in some way, but like she is unable to. So whenever she gets this opportunity to talk to another like living creature, she chooses Ayn because Ayn is not gonna like betray her or judge her or anything. It's just a dog. So she's telling Ayn all of this because Ayn honestly doesn't understand what the fuck she's saying. So she's like, whatever, I'm just gonna get this out of my chest, but no one's gonna hear it. It's just gonna be this fucking dog. And I like how that is how this flashback starts. And then at the end, she put eyebrows on Ayn because she wanted to not think about this guy. So that's also funny. But her past is she was frozen. She time skipped 50 years into modern day. Also, we got a year. It's like 2080 whatever, right? It's like 2080s. So this is like 110 years since it came out, like more or less. This is a very hopeful future. Like this idea of like, yeah, man, in like the 2080s, we're gonna be like out there in the stars and we're gonna have space colonies and shit. And I'm just sitting here like, yeah, that ain't happening, Chief. Like, I get it. It's like 60 years from now still, but I'm sorry, that ain't happening. I don't see it. But I suppose in the world of Cowboy Bebop, the reason why that is because there was some incident with Gates that like fucked the planet. I think they said like the Gates blew up the moon or something and that fucked the planet. So then they had to get out. So I suppose when the necessity arises, then they had to figure out a way in order to make it happen. Okay, FAYE's entire deal is that she trusted this guy, Whitney, yeah. She trusted this guy because this guy was like, I'm going to be here for you, like, whatever you need, like, we can do it. And I like that she tried to run away because she was like, I have such a massive debt on my ass because of the treatment that they gave me, because I suppose that's not something that they really planned. Or maybe she was in such a critical condition that they needed to do the treatment right then. So they did it, and then they were like, all right, you owe us 300 million wulongs, which is a lot. like, holy shit. Okay. I wonder if I can Google this. How much is a wulong? 1 wulong is a penny. I wanna get a conversion. So 300 million cents would be $3 million. Yeah? Yeah, okay. I like that the bounty for this guy was like nothing right at the end. And they go like, yeah, the smallest of the smallest fry. It's like, yeah, this guy was nothing. Because this guy was really someone that like didn't really matter. But it mattered a lot for FAYE. But it's the idea that someone that is such a minuscule part of like of life and of society. Someone that doesn't really do anything too big for society or for anyone in it, and nobody really gives a shit about them. That's still a person that caused like this amount of like massive damage to a member in the main cast and the plot. You know, like he doesn't matter in terms of like to the world, but he matters a lot to Faye. And Faye's life was kind of like hit by this because she wakes up, she remembers nothing. She doesn't know anything about herself. She doesn't know anything about her previous life. She just wakes up and she's like, oh, I can tell that that's like a TV screen or that's a cell phone. And then they go like, no, this is, all of these things are nothing what you think they are. And then she's like, well, shit, I don't know anything. And I don't remember who I am. And then this guy is like, don't worry, you'll get your memories eventually, maybe, and we'll take care of you, you know? If you need anything, I'll be here for you. And the reason why he did this is because he fell in love with her while she was sleeping. And I believe that. Like, that's not something that I would necessarily be like, well, he's full of shit. No, I believe that, because that also means he's selfish. Like, he just saw this woman sleeping, and he was like, shit, she's hot. And then he was like, well, I'm gonna pretend that I'm gonna be super cool, and then he wasn't, because eventually he was like, well, I fucking hate this life, and I'm full of debt, and I'm fucked this shit. I'm just gonna pretend I'm dead. So he did that. He pretended he died, and then he wrote like, oh, you're gonna inherit everything that is to my name. And she was like, oh my god, he did care for me. And then she sees that everything she inherited from this dude was just more debt. So it's like, well, fuck this guy, you know? And Spike hears this when Spike is in the bathroom, just hear him Faye talk about this, which is very fortunate because these characters were never going to talk to each other about their pasts. So it's very fortunate that they were able to hear it in some manner that wasn't direct, because that implies character progression. Even if it's accidental or forceful, it is character progression. And Spike is like, you know, you're really disrespecting that dude. You know, that dude probably really cared about you, and he left stuff to you, even if he was just negatives, but like he definitely took you around, and he showed you the world and stuff. So like he definitely did give a shit. And Faye is like, yeah, I know, but like he just caused me problems and whatever. And then Jet gets this guy. And it's him. It's him, but like giant and fat. And I'm just like, that's him. That's I forgot his name again. Matsumoto, Whitney. Yeah, that's him. That's just him. And I'm just like, this motherfucker faked his death and just left all his debt to her. And that's exactly what he did. And apparently the doctors were all in on it, which makes sense, because I'm looking at the doctors and I'm just like, this doctor woke you up and he was like, you owe me $3 million. And I'm just sitting here like, what? Like, that's like the next step of like, I didn't ask to be born, you know? That's the next step. That's like, I didn't ask to be revived, and I owe you $3 million now. Like, fuck you. Like, no, get the fuck off my face. I'd rather be dead. So whatever. So that's this doctor, and he was forceful. He was a shit. And then when Faye is grieving the loss of this guy, he's like, yeah, just gonna sign up, and just grabs her thumb, and he's like, yeah, you press this button, there you go. Now you owe me an extra $1 million. It's like, fuck this guy, fuck this doctor, dude. So yeah, he was Whitney's uncle, we learn later, and they come for him, and they try and sneak him out, and then they fail, because Faye does have, Faye does fight Spike. That's something that does happen in this episode. Like, one of them could have died. Like, they could have just shot each other and just accidentally hit the cockpit and kill each other. Luckily, they didn't. And, like, you can tell that that's not going to happen because of the soundtrack. You know, like, there's some fucking jamming jazz playing while this entire fight is happening. So I'm just like, okay, I'm not worried for their lives, you know? Music is too upbeat for it. But she does want answers from this guy. And particularly the answer that she wants is, who am I? Like, what is my name? Where did it come from? Like, I don't know anything about myself to this day. It's been 3 years, I think now. She doesn't know anything. So she's like, I want to know. Like, stop lying to me. Like, you did. Like, that's your entire deal. You must know something about me. This is her best lead. And then he's like, I actually don't know anything about you. Like, I don't. Like, fuck it. I really don't. And then that's when the doctor shows up. And the doctor is like, okay, here's what's up. Your name, I gave it to you. Your name is not Faye Valentine. I mean, now it is, but I just gave it to you. Like, I told you your name is Faye Valentine. And the reason why I gave you that name was because of my favorite love song, which I'm just gonna guess is My Funny Valentine. That's funny. Who sang that song? Because I listened to it a couple times. My Funny Chet Baker. Okay, I see. Okay, it's from a musical. But yeah, anyway, I listened to his song because I listened to a JoJo playlist where they got songs from like each character or part or whatever, and that song was there, and I was like, yeah, Funny Valentine, man. So now every time I see that song, I'm sorry, all I can think about is the JoJo character, which at this point in time wasn't made there, because Steel Ball Run came out in like 2000 and something, right? It definitely wasn't 98. I think that was probably Golden Wind time. I'm getting distracted by JoJo again, I'm sorry. The doctor confirms that he doesn't know her name, and he doesn't know anything else about her, because when the gate exploded, the mythical gate incident that we've been hearing the entire time, they were like, yeah, all your records were wiped when that happened. Like, we lost all data on you, so we really have no fucking clue what your deal is. Which now makes me think, it makes me wonder, doesn't that mean that they just straight up like lied to her when with her like disease and you owe us like $3 million? Isn't that just a lie then? Because if they had no records on her, it means that her condition that they had to fix maybe wasn't even real. She just woke up confused, and then they were like, yeah, we fix you. You owe us $3 million. And she's like, where the fuck? Like, what? Like, is that a thing? Because if they had no records, how could they know that she had a condition? So maybe she didn't at all. Maybe that was just fucking bullshit. As for everything else, all data was lost back in that gate incident. So I don't know who you are or why you were put in cold sleep. Yeah, so her condition was just a lie. She didn't have a condition that they needed to fix or anything. I mean, maybe she does, but they don't know that. Which then arises a new question. Why was she cryogenically frozen? That's a really good question. That could be tied to the reason why she doesn't have her memories. Maybe. Like, maybe it could be some weird rehabilitation program. Like, maybe FAYE Valentine is a serial killer, right? Maybe she's, like, the worst person in history. And then they were like, we're gonna freeze you and wipe your memories. And then she woke up and she was like, I don't know what the fuck is happening. Maybe that's the case. It could be something like that. I don't think it will be, but it could, in theory, be something like that. Like, FAYE Valentine is a Danganronpa character now, so I have no fucking clue what her deal is. This is very interesting, because even after I watched the episode, I thought that, like, she had a condition and that's why she was frozen. But now that I'm thinking about it, no, they have no idea why she was put to sleep. And now we have even more questions with FAYE than we had before. Because the only thing we know for a fact is she was frozen, woke up 50 years later, and she doesn't know anything. There you go. And the only other thing is that she did have this kind of relationship with this dude who essentially betrayed her and kind of lied to her because he liked her. He fell in love with her because she was pretty, because she is. And then he was like, well, shit, I'm just going to make an entire relationship based out of lies. And then she was like, and then she got fucked because of this, and now she has issues ever getting close to anyone because the people that she has met in her life like fucked her. Like, that doctor fucked her, the nurse fucked her, this guy fucked her. Like, so it makes sense that she doesn't trust anyone, and she has issues getting close to anyone because everyone always disappears. And in some way, because she thought he was dead. Like, that's one thing. She thought he was dead, and like, maybe there was a room for, like, that guy care for me, and I mean, he left me all of his debts, but maybe at some point in the future he was gonna pay for them, and maybe I would have inherited something good from these debts. Like, because, like, maybe he just made the paperwork, and then, like, 20 years later, that guy could have been rich, and then I would inherit that money. So maybe it could have been something like that. So in her mind, maybe she rationalized, like, okay, even if he was an inconvenience for my financial status, he did, like, give me a lot of his time, and maybe he did care for me and all that stuff. So it's, like, weird mixed feelings. Now that she knows that guy was alive and just full of shit, now she's like, all right, fuck you. Like, fuck off. Like, that gives her some closure, and that's something that's really cool, and maybe that will help her move forward into the future, because Spike does know all of the things that she said, and they did even share like a moment right at the ending, you know? So again, an episode where this could be really cool for the crew. Like, they get closer to each other, they understand each other a little bit more, and they grow from these experiences. This is great. Like the Jet episode, where he feels like he grew after meeting his ex and learning, I gotta move on. Maybe Faye can do the same now, and maybe she can allow people in her life again. Not immediately, that would be weird, but just over time, little by little. That would be cool. I gotta say though, I like Faye with her, like, her bangs down way more than I like her with the, what is this thing that she has for it? Because, like, essentially what she's doing is she has hair like this, like falling on her head, and something that he holds it up there. But I am personally someone who enjoys bangs falling on faces. So I really like how her hair falls on like her forehead when she just wakes up in the flashback. I really like that hair. So I kind of wish we would go back to that. I kind of do. You know what? You know what Faye I want to see? I want to see that hair Faye, and also the outfit that she wore in the first episode she showed up in, when she's in the casino, when she dresses like King from King of Fighters. Yeah, that's the Faye I want to see. That's my ideal Faye. Anyway, I think that's going to be it for this episode. I don't know if there's much else I want to say about it. Yeah, this was just a really cool Faye episode. We finally got it. I'm happy about it. Okay, all right, let's get out of here. So, thank you so much for watching this episode of Cowboy Bebop. See you next time. And alright everyone, thank you so much for watching this episode reaction to Cowboy Bebop. If you would like to watch the next 2 episode reactions, you can already do so over at the Patreon. Check out the link in the description below, social media, all sorts of cool stuff that I do. See you guys next time. Take care everybody. Bye bye.